everybody, welcome to another recap of The Dirty Bachelor. So this week they're in Panama City, Panama, and everyone gets a date. KCB is the first date. Will love survive? Pack 3 things. So they take the old helicopter out to a deserted island. Yes, them and a crew of 5 or 6 and some equipment. She ended up packing a monkey, a corkscrew, and a bag of candy. He packs machete, fishing net, and matches, or rather shall I say the show packed it. So they cut down some coconuts and they try and go fishing, and we find out that he is a real spaz. Hello, have you ever seen Survivor? Do you know how to cut open a coconut? It's been like 20 seasons. I think you should know by now. I want to know where they went to the bathroom, because that's not romantic. They caught one big fish, which was really weird when they pulled it. First of all, they didn't know how to throw the net right. Then when he went to pull it in, there was this giant freaking senior citizen of a fish. I think the production had it packed in the net. They had no choice but to catch it. And they ate it. And then they left. Back at the hotel, the next date card arrives for the group date. Let's get lost. Alright, so they find out by the process of elimination that the 2-on-1 date is for Blakely and Rachel. Blakely's excited, Rachel not so much. Back on the date, Casey tells Ben her big secret. This girl knows how to pace herself. She said, in high school I had an eating disorder. I was anorexic and bulimic. Well, he thinks she's got guts for admitting it. I really don't think it was that big of an issue. I think a lot of people have eating disorders, and I think she should stop being so self-conscious. I don't know. She got the rose, though, and they perform a little lie-down kissing while standing up. Fast forward to the group date. They're on a boat, and the funny thing was, it was a hollowed-out tree boat, but it had an outboard motor. It was raining, which was sexy. I don't see how that's sexy. Maybe if you're just on a date with somebody you love, but when you're on a date with like 6 women, I don't know. There was kids in loincloths playing. They kicked their soccer ball into the water. They ran off. I smell a ploy. They went chasing them. They couldn't find them. They found a village. The ladies were kidnapped and their clothes were ripped off and they changed into native garb. Ben had a teeny weeny little penis covering on. Yeah. Courtney, or shall I say Hortney, was a real slut. She took her bra off underneath the little bead thing so that it left nothing to the imagination. Ben's tiny loincloth puffed up. Alright, I can't believe I just said that. Hortney wrote B+C on Ben, but then it looked like somebody scratched it out later. So at dinner, Ben ate Lindsay's face. Back at the hotel, the date card arrived. Save the last dance for me. Alright, so back on the island, Ben tells Hortney that he really appreciates her whoring it up, because he's shallower than a puddle, and he loves that. Jamie's alone time is ruined by Hortney in a bikini, pretending she was the freaking gremlin from the Twilight Zone, the episode, you know, where the gremlin was on the wing of the plane and freaking William Shatner was freaking out. Exactly the same. Emily breaks the tension and says that she's now in love with the chief. Lol. Back when the girls are sitting around doing nothing, waiting for their time to whore it up, Emily apologizes to Hortney, but it's not accepted. And she got a little rude about the whole situation too, Hortney did. So Lindsay gets the rose because Ben wants to assure her he wants to see more. So poor Courtney. It's time to feel sorry for Courtney because she invites Ben to her room, but he never shows up. Much like the men in her real life who use her like a toilet and then never show up to flush. Ouch. 2-on-1 date time. It's salsa lessons and Blakely is aggressive. She's really slutting it up. She's wrapping her legs around him. Yeah. Lie down kissing, standing up. It's dinner time. They each have their one-on-one time with him. Blakely, she shows her true colors. It was the kiss of death when she pulls out the stalker's friend, the AKA scrapbook. The rose goes to Rachel. He had no choice. He couldn't keep Blakely around. She ran off. Chris Harrison shows up just before it's time for the rose ceremony and cocktail party and says, I need to borrow Casey S. Come talk with me, Casey S. Well, Chris Harrison has heard from at least 3 people that Casey may still be in a relationship back at home. That must have been what his iPad was saying. I don't know why he was carrying around the iPad. They never had a reason for it, and by the way, he had the ugliest color case I've ever seen. So apparently she's still in love with her ex, but he doesn't want to commit. He doesn't want to get married. Chris Harrison said they've been living together up until the minute she left for the show. They have a little talk with Ben. She wants to be with someone who wants to get married, and obviously that's not the man she's in love with. So she'll settle for Ben. He says go home. She's an ugly crier. She's like a wolf in pain. That's what you heard for like, they milked that for a good 10 minutes. That was very sad. All right, time for the rose ceremony / cocktail party. Jamie realizes that she's the only one who hasn't been a complete slut. She hasn't even kissed him yet. So she has a big plan that she's going to change all that and basically straddles him and lap rapes him. It was very awkward though. Don't get excited because it didn't work out. It was horrific. And it's time for the rose ceremony now. Guess who's going home? First rose goes to Nikki, then Courtney, then Emily. Sorry, Jamie, you're out because you're a freak. It was too little too late. He was expecting a little bit more, not just some awkward high school kissing. Next time, they're going to Belize. But the little snippet from the show showed off Emily's skills as a little white girl rapper. Well, here's my skills as a little white girl rapper. Pimps and hoes, pimps and hoes. Don't get an STD. All right, kids, till next week, much love.